All right. All right. It looks like everything is working. There we go. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Hike Livestream. We're just going to wait for some people to get on. Hey, Craig. Okay, good. Glad you found me. Hey, Shay. I am well as long as I'm out of the heat. Oh my goodness, I know. I feel like it is hot everywhere right now. I keep thinking we're going to get a break from it, but we never do. I think it was like 92 here today. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. I'm glad you guys found me. Sorry for kind of switching up the links on you. I was trying to make sure we were able to go live everywhere, including Instagram. We finally got it to work on Instagram today, so hopefully some friends will tune in from there as well. But welcome in. This is day 3 of the hike. I'm so happy you guys are here. If you're joining in, we've been doing this every day. We'll do this every day for 10 days, and every day we are discovering a new song on the album, and we're going through different parts of different metaphors on an actual hike that kind of go along with this album. Good. I'm glad you found it, Craig. Sorry for the bit of trouble. That was totally on my end. I apologize, but glad you guys found me. Friday to Tuesday, I think we're getting rain. Oh my goodness, I hope so. I hope you guys get some rain. I would love some of that. If you want to send it to Nashville, I would appreciate it. Well, if you checked out your email today, one of my favorite songs on the record, I shared with you guys. This is called Time to Say Goodbye. And today, let me see. Let me pull up. Let me just pull up the email. I kind of talked about today, I always feel like when you're starting, or at least the big hikes I've done in Colorado, I always feel like the first day you're like, I'm ready for this. I'm so excited. And then it like rains or you have like a really cloudy day or, the weather is just never what you want it to be. And so I actually decided to call the very first day where we're supposed to be kind of starting our journey, I call it Into the Fog, because that's kind of what I feel like, what it feels like when you go out on the first day. It's never exactly what you think it should be. You never have the best weather, but you decide to keep going anyway. And that's a lot like life too. And so today's song is Time to Say Goodbye. And it really goes with kind of that metaphor, because that song is all about not totally being sure if a person is right for you and if you're going to stick it out or not. I kind of joke that it's not a love song and it's not a breakup song. It's like your in-between song. You're trying to figure out, are you going to stay or are you going to go? You know? Craig says, I'm a Scotsman. Perseverance is natural. Absolutely. Always it will rain. It always does, right? Like I swear to goodness, like you're like all ready to go, and then it's like, oh my gosh, it's the worst weather. Always on the first day. But that's a lot like life too. Yeah, so this song is kind of funny. It's very much like am I going to stick it out with this person or am I going to go? And you can hear kind of the wrestling of that question in the song. And that's one of the things I love about it. I think something that is kind of a signature in my music is that I tend to write about things that I'm wrestling with. I tend to write about questions that I have. And so there's never like this is exactly how it goes, or it's always things that I'm kind of trying to figure out as we go. But I also talked about today in the discussion about Time to Say Goodbye, I talked about how this song took me 4 years to write, and that is very true. It is definitely the song that took the longest on the whole record. And that's mostly because I get that. And that's just because I had that chorus idea, the chorus of this song. I wrote that 4 years before we finished it, and I just could never find anything that made sense to go with it for the rest of the song until I moved to Nashville, actually. And I met my friend Corey, who is going to be a guest a little bit later on in our hike. She's someone who I wrote probably the most songs with on this record, and she helped me finish the rest of it. But it really did. It took 4 years. And so I'm going to go ahead and share our map. All right, so here's our lost map. I told you we're just going to come back to this every little bit. Actually, let me pull it up on Safari, actually. For some reason, the map doesn't love Chrome. If you're seeing like a few of the pictures not work as well, it's because it's on Chrome most of the time. But I don't have that issues on other browsers. So I'm just going to pull it up in Safari instead. Shay, I'm so glad that you feel that way. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm on like cloud 11 this week because I actually like talk to you guys and get to know you better, and I hope that you feel like you're getting to know me better too. And I'm just having so much fun like diving into these songs with you guys, especially like Time to Say Goodbye is a song that I released as a single. And so some of you may or may not know this one, but I bet you don't know some of the stories behind it. And I feel like, you know, this record has both songs that I've released as singles, and it also has songs that are brand new. But even songs, like if you've heard it as a single, like we're going to talk about things and maybe you get to hear it in a new way. And that's kind of what I'm hoping with this song. So anyway, yeah, so we've done the trailhead, we've done the base camp. Now we're in the fog, the really bad weather as we start our journey up the hike. And I just thought what was cool about this song is kind of seeing its progression. That's what I thought was really fun about this song. And so I added some, you know, pictures from us in the studio. This is actually the group of people that recorded the song. These guys are all amazing. This is, I'll just show you who this is because I think it's kind of fun. This guy is Brett Stewart, and this is my husband Slice. They produced the record as well as played on it. This is Chris Benelli. He plays at a really fun place called the Grand Ole Opry all the time. And if you know the star from Nashville or Outer Banks, I'm forgetting Charles Eston. He plays in his band. This is Greg Carrillo. He toured with, I believe, Luke Bryan for a while. And then this is Parker Hawkins, who's an incredible artist of himself. And he played bass. He played all the lead guitars that you hear. And then Chris played drums. my husband played keys and he played auxiliary stuff, so he played a little bit of everything. As you can see, he's playing my guitar there. Kind of fun. And that was all taken on the day that we recorded this song. But this is what I love about this map. This thing is so fun. So if you click the iPad here where these little red dots are, you're going to see these like interactive boxes come up, and it's going to show you the different versions of the song. So you can actually hear the way it changed over the 4 years that I was working on it. And you know, I say 4 years. It's not like I was striving away at this song for 4 years. It's just, you know, you never want to force a song. I always feel like if you write something and it doesn't quite work, just kind of put it in your back pocket. You can always go back to it. But every time you try and force a song, it always ends up kind of just feeling off. And I think a lot of times for me, it's just because whatever I'm wrestling with in that song, I probably just haven't learned yet. I probably haven't figured out what I have to say about it yet. And that was definitely the case with this one, is I just didn't quite know what it was supposed to be. And I think it just took a while to kind of work my way through it. So I'm going to just play some of these versions and we can kind of chat through the different ways the song evolved. I think that would be kind of fun. So this is actually a work tape from the day we finished writing it. Like I said, I wrote this with Corey about 4 years after I kind of started it. Yeah, and this is kind of a very, very rough version of where the song started. You may not love it. I don't love this version, but it's pretty cool to see how it transforms. So this is Time to Say Goodbye, the day we wrote it. Or finished it, I should say. Here's a word that's different. Can you guys hear it? Different vocal that I didn't end up using. I don't even remember doing that. It's funny. So sorry if that was a little hard to hear. But that is the original demo um, from the whole song. So you can see a lot of things have changed. Like it was a lot higher. A lot of some of the words have changed. Some of the melodies changed. I mean, it's really interesting when you write something, and if you go back and you listen to literally like we wrote recorded that the day we wrote it, and you don't even know like how a song feels in your voice yet. And so a lot of times I feel like on those beginning recordings, you're just kind of trying to figure out what it should even feel like. And so it's pretty funny to listen to and just see. Craig, I'm glad you like hearing the demo. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool to hear how a song starts. I love hearing people's demos. And it's interesting, like the ones that stay pretty close to where they were the day you wrote it, and the ones that really transform, right? Hi, Holden. It's great to see you. Hi, Anne. So glad you guys are here. Thanks for joining us. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with how people write songs in Nashville. So I'll just kind of walk through because I think it will make sense. What I just played for you guys is something we call a work tape, and a work tape is just a vocal and a guitar together. That's it. And typically when you say, hey, I'm going to get together with a co-write, you're going with one to three other people. In that case, it was just me and one other person. And every co-write in Nashville, for the most part, is 3 hours long. And at the end of it, the goal is to walk out with a full song. So if anybody says, like, how long does it take to write a song? The answer is supposed to be 3 hours. And in my case, maybe 4 years. 3 hours and 4 years. But that's kind of the idea. So those work tapes are typically recorded at the very, very end of a 3-hour co-writing session most of the time. Holden, I'm so glad you're here. It's so great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. But yeah, so that's where the song started. Very, very different than where it ended up, which I think is pretty interesting to see. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my whole screen here. So hopefully you can kind of see. So here's the time to say goodbye. Look at it on the map. And so what we just listened to was the first one, listen to the day we wrote it. The second thing, so that's called a work tape. When it's just the guitar vocal, that's what you're taking out of your co-write at the end of a day that you've written the song. And then the second thing is called a demo. And that's a term I think a lot of people know. But a demo is what you typically take into the studio. So the first one is pretty rough, and depending on how well your players know you, sometimes that's okay. But for me, in this case, this was a project working with some people I didn't know quite so well. So I wanted to make a little bit of a cleaner demo. And I actually do all my demos with my husband because, like I said, he helped co-produce the record. And so you can hear some of the changes we made. The key's already lower, and you can kind of hear the da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da guitar vamp kind of happening already in this demo. The big issue from where we wrote it to where it ended up was I'm an okay guitar player. I'm not the best guitar player in the world. And so I was like, I was the one playing on that first work tape that you hear. And I was like, this is fine, but I'm hearing more space in the guitar part. And it's kind of like, it's a country song, but it's a kind of R&B influenced a lot of ways. It's kind of pop influenced in a lot of ways. I took a lot of like what Maren Morris does. And Craig actually asked for the song I Would. I think this song is the closest song to I Would, which is a song from my last EP. I think this is the closest song to that. And what's similar about both of those songs is they kind of have space in both of them. And so I'm going to go ahead and play this demo. You can kind of just see some of the changes we were already starting to make from the work tape to the demo. So in this, like, you're going to hear me singing, but Slice is playing guitar on this. choke in your throat when you say my name, finding reasons to blow up my phone. If you're lost, think about how we take that break, and it feels wrong sleeping alone. Sometimes it is harder giving up than giving another try. Maybe it ain't time to say goodbye. So there you go. That's a little bit of how it changed. Can you guys hear the differences? You can start to hear a little bit of that guitar part coming into play. It's still just a guitar vocal. That's what's kind of cool. But that is what, yeah, Shay, when I turned it up, could you hear it better? Sorry, it was not very loud. But yeah, you can kind of hear how it's starting to change from the beginning to that second recording. And then I'm just going to play a little bit of. Okay, good. Shay, I'm glad that worked. Yeah, so you can kind of hear how it's coming to be. And that version is the version that we actually gave everybody to record from. So it's pretty cool. Like the people, like when you give somebody that, like everybody kind of takes it home. They typically have that a few weeks before they record it. And you know, we had some really great players on this, and so they came in with a lot of cool ideas about what it could sound like. And one thing I love about recording with people is, you know, I kind of walk in and you typically give some references and you're like, hey, I think it kind of sounds like this. Yeah, it's an amazing difference, like just to see the progression of it, I think. But what's cool is like you say like, okay, I think like the song kind of like these are some of the references. Like I think it kind of lives in like, it's kind of like a Mary Morris song. It's kind of like this person. It's kind of like this person. It's also kind of like its own thing too. But what's cool is like you give that version to your drummer and he walks in with a totally different set of inspirations that he's grown up with in his life. And same with the guitarist and same with the bass player. They all come into this session with different inspirations of their own. And so that's what's so cool is like what I listened to growing up may not be what they listened to growing up. And so you kind of get all their influences matched with your influences. And then it just creates something really unique and really special. And, you know, something I love, especially with this song, I feel like in particular, this song would have been a totally different song with a different group of people. Hey, I get it. I get it. 5-year-olds are supposed to be hyper. That means it's good. That means life is good. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of the full version so you can kind of see how it takes. Hi, Juanita. It's so good to see you. She said, I had no idea how long it took to write a song. I'm impressed. Oh, I love that. I know. I hope I'm not getting too like in the nitty gritty. I think it's really fun to talk about and really, really interesting. And especially like this song is a really interesting one to talk about because it just took so long and it was such an odd, it was just one of the songs that we really had to work on. Like we really had to like kind of really dig for this one. Just because it was a really different one than the rest of the record. So I think it's fun to talk about it. If you guys are bored and I'm getting too in the nitty gritty, like you just let me know. But yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen again. I'm just gonna play a little bit of the full version of this one. And we'll go from there. You can kind of just you can see where it came from. So here's the final version. And that's where it ended up. Is that where you guys thought it would end up when you like listened to the very beginning? I also get some Stevie Nicks vibes. I agree with that. I'm so you guys like it. Oh, good. I'm glad you're not bored. Oh my gosh, Holden says I have all your songs on my playlist. That like makes my day. You guys. I'm so glad you're into it. I get very nerdy about like how stuff was made, and so I think it's really cool. So, so some of the things I love about that I was not expecting to happen in the studio from like now you guys have seen the whole evolution, right? You guys have seen how it was when we were the day we wrote it, and then you saw the demo that we gave to everybody, and then where it gets to. And I just think it's really wild, right, Shay? Like it's like so interesting to hear it filled out, you know? There are some things that I thought was really funny about this song. So this song almost actually didn't make the record because it's probably the poppiest song on the record. It just, it has the snaps, which is so funny. I'm a huge Ryan Tedder fan, and he always says that snaps never went out of style. Hey, Ann, let me text you after this. You said I don't have your email yet. I checked on yours specifically today, and it said that it's sent to you, so I'm wondering if it's stuck in your spam or in your junk. So I'm going to text you, and if you'll check that and see, because that's what I'm thinking happened, because it definitely sent to you. And I'll make sure you get it. Okay, I'll text you and we'll figure out why you haven't gotten it, because you should. Because I hate that. Yeah. But some of the things I love about where this song ended up, like it is the poppiest song on the record, in a really fun way. And I love that it kind of has the snaps in it. But my favorite thing is that it's one of my favorite guitar solos on the record. And one of the things that's interesting is our guitarists do something, it's called an ebow. And you don't play it like a regular guitar, like over the strings. You actually lay it flat, and then it's like a little box that looks like this, and it has like a little needle on it. And you like hover that over the strings, and it makes that kind of like wobbly sound. It was really, really interesting. I'd never seen anyone play that. I mean, everyone else knew what it was. I just had personally not seen it. It was really, really cool. And then there are two songs that have horns on it, and this is actually one of the songs. There's a trumpet in it if you listen to it really carefully. It's kind of tucked in the back, but it's there, and it's really, really cool. Kind of just doing these little stings, especially on that ending chorus. It's just really fun. Like some things that I never in my life would have pictured on that record. But like I said, like other people bring their own inspirations to it. All the players have their ideas too, and have their inspirations too. And I think this song to me is the song that really speaks to that, of like it was a team effort, and if there was any other player on this, it would have been a different song. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But anyway, I'm curious what you guys think. So this song is kind of funny. Like it says, the whole point is like maybe it's not time to give up on somebody yet. Like if you're still thinking about them, if you're still you still believe that there's more to give. And I wonder, I kind of wonder, has anybody ever felt that? Maybe holding on to a person or a job or any part in their life. I think that was the journal prompt. I was just thinking, what is something in your life that you're trying to hold on to, or that you have tried to hold on to in the past? Maybe something that was good that you held on to it, like a relationship you kept working at and now it ended up being a wonderful thing. Or maybe it was something that, I know I've done this probably more of like holding on to something and I shouldn't have, like something I should have just moved on from. I love that. K-pop demon slayers. I love that. I need to get more in the K-pop world. I really do. It's amazing what those artists are doing right now. But I'm just curious, like if anyone has an answer to that, if there's something that maybe they held on to that they shouldn't have, or maybe it was good that they did. That's what I love about this song is it's not an answer to that question. It's just kind of in the middle of it. It's just in the middle of figuring that out. Shay, I'm going to read this out loud because it's such a beautiful comment. She says, being a teen mom for me, that hit. Mom guilt will haunt you, but in the end, it's been everything I could wish for. Oh, man, I get that. I get that. I get that. But Shay, I feel like the more I get to know you, the more I know that your kids, I mean, they have to feel so loved by you because it just like radiates off of you. Holden says definitely a few times. Yeah, me too. Yeah, and that's what I love. Like this song is definitely talks about that in terms of relationship because that's what it was in my life at the time. But I feel like that idea, like that happens a few times in your life, and you know, like I've said, this song, the reason why this song is this whole thing is a hike, it's because it's a journey that we're walking through, and that's been a huge part of my journey is like figuring out when do I move on from something and when do I stick it out, right? And that's kind of what this song is. Shay, I am gonna go check that out on Netflix. That sounds really fun. I'm definitely gonna do that. Definitely. Does anyone have any questions about this song or about anything else, or do you guys want to hear something else? More of a possum mom. I love it. I love that. Hey, chaos makes the world work. I totally get that. I'm totally gonna check it out. I am totally gonna do that. K-pop Demon Slayers. I'm gonna remember that. I'm here for it. That's so funny. What struck this song for you? What do you mean? Like what inspired it for me? Is that what you mean by that? Oh my gosh, Craig, you want me to sing Nothing Else Matters by Metallica? I'm I don't think I could do that right off bat, but let me because we're going to do this is what's so nice about doing this is I'm going to write it down. Let me listen to it and let me see if I can do it tomorrow. I'm writing it down. Cuz that's like what you're more into, right, Craig? Is you like more heavy metal a lot of times, right? Yeah, Shay said what she wants to know what inspires this song. Um, Actually, for me, this song is pretty literal. Um, um, a lot of this record, you know, I wrote this a few years ago, and I actually, um, before I met my husband, I was in a very, very serious relationship that ended. And I really thought that was going to be it, actually. And it was really, really hard for me. And this is the song I wrote when that ended, probably the first time. Probably the first song I wrote as that was ending. And I really think for me, and this is just for me, I never want to kind of tell people what the song is, because the song can be a lot of things to a lot of different people. And just because this is what it means to me and I'm the artist, I don't want people to think that this is what the song has to mean. This is just what it means to me. And for me, I think like, you know, you kind of go through that grief, those stages of grief, right? And to me, I hear this song as like the stage of bargaining. Like it's saying like, especially that chorus, like, you know, if there's a choke in your throat when you say my name, finding reasons to blow up my phone. Like, have you ever broken up with someone and you just can't stop calling them and you just can't stop, reaching out? That was definitely the situation I was in. You know, we weren't breaking up because there wasn't love there. We were breaking up for a very like logistical, practical reason. And that was really, really hard because it wasn't like something was wrong with that person or like it wasn't the right fit. It was just something, it just wasn't going to work. And so had a very, very hard time taking space from it. And this is really at my time, like saying like, well, maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should. Like, I don't really know, because there's still a lot of love there, and if there is so much love there and so much feelings for that person, like, maybe you should give it another try, and maybe you should try and make it work. And yeah, that's kind of what it meant at the time. It's funny because I feel like singing that song now and like thinking about what it means now, I've thought a lot about it in terms of, when you're in something long enough with somebody, you're going to have moments where you want to throw in the towel, and you shouldn't, right? Like when you're in a long relationship with somebody, there are moments that you have to work through. And then there are moments that you shouldn't work through. And again, like, that's kind of what I love about the song is it doesn't say like you definitely shouldn't, or you definitely should. Like, it's just saying like, maybe if you still feel those things for me, maybe we should keep working on it. And there are so many songs and so many songs out there that's just like, just call it a day, like call it quits. And I hadn't ever really heard any song talk about that like in between moment where you're like on the verge of breaking up, on the verge of calling it off, but like you're not quite sure. And that's such a real feeling. And I just felt like that feeling needed a song. That feeling of like that in between feeling, needed something. Yeah, it's that first love, and I'm glad it strikes a chord. I'd be curious, like, if anyone connects to kind of what I was saying, because, like I said, like, that's just kind of how I interpret it. And I never want somebody to think just because, like, that's kind of what I thought it was when I was writing it, like, that's what it has to be. I think it can be whatever it needs to be in your life. And I think for me in my life, what that song's going to mean is going to change over the years too. I think, singing it now means something different than when I wrote it. I mean, I wrote that song. We started writing that like 4 years ago, right? So it's changed. The meaning of that song has changed for me over the years too. I love it. Shay says, "Do Free" by Demon Slayer, Huntress. Oh, so that's the name of the group is Demon Slayer. Are you guys all like heavy metal fans? Oh yeah, that's a great way to say it. This song, she says, the song is a tug of war. Yeah. Yeah, I love that imagery for this song. That's exactly it. And I think like I was like, oh, this section of the hike should be called In the Fog, because that's kind of how it feels. Like, it feels like you're kind of confused. Like, are you going to keep going? Are you going to like take a break, right? Yeah, that's exactly how this song feels. Exactly. And it's really cool that way. Okay, cool. Shay, I'm totally gonna go look it out. I swear somebody like was just telling me about this group. All right, so you guys are giving me some homework. I have to go listen to Free by Demon Slayer, Huntress. And I have to listen to, I wrote it down, Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. I will do that. I'm going to write that one down too. Free by Demon Slayer. Otherwise, I will forget. Oh my gosh, you got to see Leanne Rimes? After my whole heart, Craig. I love Leanne Rimes. I saw a video of her at the Ryman, because my friend went and saw her at the Ryman. That was probably like 5 years. Well, you guys met her, Jessica, yesterday. She went and saw Leanne Rimes live at the Ryman, and she was showing me a video, and it was just like, oh my gosh. You like my outfit? Thank you, Shay. This is the shirt I wore on one of the photo shoots for this record. You have to watch the movie. I will watch the movie. I absolutely will. Leanne Rimes is one of my favorite country singers. She's somebody who I feel very, very inspired by. Holden says, I felt like that before the song. Totally, totally get that. Oh my gosh, you saw Alexander K? I don't know Chanel Yates. I'm gonna look her up. I love AK. She's awesome. Love everything that team is doing. Yay, Shay, I'm glad you like the outfit. This is like my favorite shirt. I feel like I could take on the world in this shirt. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Well, I was just looking to see if we've kind of I love it. I just want to say thank you guys so much for responding to those songs and those emails I've been sending. So many of you guys have replied back and actually answered the journal prompts. And I just have to say, like, the things that you guys have shared with me, it just means so much. I have read every single comment, and some of the stories you guys have shared with me, thank you so much for trusting me with those stories, and for just reflecting on those questions. It means a lot, and I just want to say thank you so much for doing that. It's been really, really cool to get to know you all that way, and then be able to come on here live and talk a little bit more about them. The journal prompt is probably my favorite part. Oh my gosh, and you saw Kelsey Ballerini? We need to go to concerts together. I didn't know Kelsey came to Scotland. Was that last year? I knew AK just came. Yeah, Shay, you can totally reply. You can get a hold of me in all sorts of ways. But yeah, you can totally, like I said, on all those emails, it is going directly to me. So if you reply to him, like, that goes to me, and I will absolutely reply back. I try and do it as fast as I can. If I don't do it like immediately, I'll get to it. I promise. I will absolutely do that. Oh my gosh, Craig, I have got to go to some concerts with you. You're singing all my girls. I love all these people. Avery Anna is one of my absolute favorites right now. She's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on this live with me today. Today, like I said, today's song of the day was Time to Say Goodbye. And I hope you guys have enjoyed kind of hearing a little bit of the behind the scenes of how that song came to be, a little bit of kind of my thoughts on the meaning of it. But I hope that you take a minute to kind of sit with it. Think about what you think it means. Hit reply on those emails. Let me know what you think. And because I would absolutely love to know. Tomorrow is... Oh my gosh, tomorrow is already day 4 of our hike. Can you believe that? It is going by so fast. But tomorrow is a song that is not out yet. You guys are going to be one of the first people to hear the full version of the song. I've shared a few snippets of it on social media, but I've never shared the whole thing. You guys will be the first people to hear it. It's kind of a cool one. It's kind of different. I think you guys will really like it. And then I'm going to have a special guest. The person who wrote that song with me is going to be here tomorrow. And we're going to get to talk a little bit about how that song came to be, and a few more things on the record as well. So I hope you guys check it out. Like I said, if for any reason you guys are not getting the emails or anything like that, like, send me a message on social media, send me a DM, and I will figure it out for you. All right? Yeah, Craig, me too. Female country singers, they're my favorite. I might be a little biased. Oh my gosh. I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have your rest of your night, but I will see you again tomorrow at 6. Thank you guys so much for doing this with me. This has been a blast, and I hope that you love tomorrow's song. Bye, guys. Bye, Craig. Bye, Shay. Bye, Holden. Bye, Ann. Everybody who's kind of jumped in, who's been hanging out with us, thank you guys for being here. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow.